All right, guys. First, I want to let my viewers know one more time, okay? Because I saw some responses and comments in my videos. I need to make clear that I do not do reviews. Okay, I'm not an item reviewer or anything like that. I will never make an item reviews. Okay, I do educational videos about vaping. I'm not item specific unless absolutely necessary because I'm trying to explain something. You know what I mean? I'm not doing the like unboxing and this thing is 22 millimeters. I'm not gonna get into that because there's plenty of other people doing that, and again, that's just not me. Okay, so on to today's topic. Today we're going to be talking about uh, equipment for people who are new to vaping. Okay, whether you want to get into vaping yourself, okay, and you're wondering what should I buy? Or you have a friend who wants to get into vaping, and what should I set them up with these days? Okay, keep in mind the date of this video because the things that I'm about to mention is the best stuff as of the date. Okay, so I don't want to hear comments like like a year or two down the road and people are like, no, 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 this stuff is yeah. Check out the date. Okay, all right. So what does every dude need? Okay, needs a battery and he needs a tank. All right, the battery should be a variable device. Okay, why a variable device? Because people who come off of smoking are used to a certain thing already. Okay, so they need to be able to adjust so that like it's producing more vapor, more flavor, less flavor, things like that, so that like it could mimic the satisfaction as close as possible. Okay, now the best variable device out there for the money right now, okay, Itaste VV version 3. Okay, I could recommend other things. I could tell you an MVP. I could tell you a lot of different things, but I didn't choose those because I'm not looking to make a newbie vapor spend a lot of money. Okay, I want them to spend as least as possible, but I didn't go with the ego twist either. Don't buy ego twists. I'll tell you that right now. Don't buy ego twist because it's garbage. Okay, you buy it, you use it, it's not bad, and then you're gonna throw it away as you move up in vaping. Okay, um, this item will stay with you in the long run. Okay, I'll tell you right now, for those of you who didn't know, these things can handle certain sub-ohm amounts. Okay, you might not know what that means right now, but you will in the future. Okay, all Innokin devices can fire as low as zero point 0.8 ohms. Okay, so later on when you have like different when you're building stuff, you're starting to do your own things. This thing is not going to be in the trash. You know what I mean? You could still use this. You could still pick this up and, let me set it up on this and then see how it goes. Okay. The only downside to this thing, okay, the only real downside to this thing is that it doesn't fire as accurately as it claims to be. Like, for instance, um, you know, you, you put an attachment on this thing and then it's supposed to fire at like 3.7, but you're actually getting like 3.6. You bump it up to 3.9, you're actually getting like 37 and a half. It's not as accurate as it should be, but it does its thing. Okay, and for a newbie vapor, you're really not going to know the difference. Okay, on to the next thing. Okay, the glass tank. The glass tank, I chose an AnyVape Divide tank. Okay, why? Because out of all of the glass tanks out there, all right, that uses the same coil, the AnyVape Divide, the Pure tank, the Pro tank, the Pro tank 2, they all use the same coil at the bottom. Okay, so the performance is basically all the same. All right, all of you guys out there who are doing like different classimizer shootouts and things like that, be like, oh, this one versus this one versus this one. It's all in your head. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I don't care who I offend. It's all in your fucking head. It all uses the same coil, and I do own everything. Okay, so I know. Go with this one because it's slightly cheaper. Okay, these things go for around like $15 as opposed to pro tanks that usually around $18 to $20. Also, these tanks are slightly bigger. This holds a 3 mil capacity, and any drip tip fits in any vape Divide. Okay, while in a Pro Tank 2, not everything fits. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you how to use these things, okay, because read the directions or search other videos and find out what's going on, okay? Because I'm not going to teach you everything. Why? Because I want you to search and I want you to care. I want you to purposely take that initiative, okay? If I'm just sitting here like rambling on and on, you're just going to ADD out and fall asleep, okay? So I did mention that there's 3 things that you need to buy, okay? The tank, the battery, and the third item is this thing, an airflow controller. Okay, this thing is made by Smoktech. I will include the links for all 3 of these items down in this description below. Okay, I'm not going to leave you guys in the dark about it. Okay, of where you can get them, and so that like even if it's sold out, you know what it's called, so you know how to look it up for another website somewhere else to buy these things. Okay, now you need all 3. You'll notice that in other people's videos, okay, whether they're using a Divide tank or they're using a Pro tank, okay, when they connect it to their devices, there's kind of like an airy draw. Everybody will mention that like the draw on this thing is a little bit airy, and that's not going to mimic what a cigarette is like, because a cigarette actually has resistance to it, okay? So you're not going to like it right away. And you're going to see a lot of videos of people who, reviewed like, Pura tanks and Divides and Pro tanks and things like that. And then they tell you like, I tried it. I tried to like it. I still got to go back to my eVod. I still got to go back to my, some other kind of device. And then you're also going to have like the fanboy people, right? Who are like, oh, it's kind of airy, but I like the airy draw. This is BS. All right, you don't like the airy draw, okay? You're stuck with the item, you paid for it, and now you're bringing yourself to like it. We shouldn't have to like something, okay? The whole point of like, people building sub-ohms and Genesis and drippers and becoming a modder and things like that is because we're all constantly trying to tweak that perfect vape, okay? So as a newbie, this is what you could do. You could add the airflow controller. Okay, so what you do is that you want to stuff this thing between your battery and the tank. Okay, so when you buy the tank will come with a beauty ring. The beauty ring will go onto the battery like so. Afterwards, you put your airflow controller on. Okay, it's a 2-disc system. The single disc mounts to the bottom, and the top disc, okay, is what is adjustable. Okay, rises up and down because the air holes are at the bottom of where the 510 connection is. So we connect this tank to the airflow controller, okay, and then we adjust the disc in between up and down, okay. The closer it is to the tank, the tighter the draw will be. Release it the other way, it's going to be an airy draw, okay. So after this, you take your drip tip, put it on, fire it, give it a couple of puffs, tighten it, give it a couple of puffs until you find that resistance that you like. At the same time, also tuning for the amount of, vapor, heat, flavor that you like. Okay, and that's going to come as close to, allowing you to give up your cigarettes, as opposed to like, oh, I'm just gonna go get him. I'm gonna take him to a vape shop and get him an ego twist, and then this and that, and then he's gonna try it, and then maybe he's gonna like it, maybe he's not gonna like it. Okay, you go with this setup, much higher success rate. Okay, and that's the whole purpose of this video, so that like, you guys who want to, stop smoking, or you got friends that you want them to stop smoking and bring them over to, the vaping side of things, this is the way to do it, okay? Take care, guys.